I changed it, I know I ain't living right. You say I'm drinking too much, taking too much, and it's
That's such an amazing song. I feel like her shouldn't have gave him, that's funny, the backlash and got upset about him having responses to her song, because all it did was increase her streams a bunch of times over versus what she had already had when they started listening to the albums back and forth and listening to the songs back and forth. It sucks that we don't have more music by him simply because of probably that debacle, and he hasn't dropped anything since then. I mean, he dropped probably like 2 small mixtapes or EPs, what have you, but it's not really the same. I feel like she shouldn't have gotten upset because all it did was help her at the end of the day.
I really wish we got it together earlier. Sometimes that's just how life goes, always in cycles. I don't wanna waste a minute of my life without you in it. I don't wanna act like you ain't been the one from the beginning. I don't wanna everything. I really need you for everything enough. Oh no, 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 no. Late night, call your phone. Lately you have no time. You're looking out for you now. Finally prioritized, and I knew you would, but you could say something. Yeah. Sometimes it's better when you yell than when you say nothing. But you're getting tired of explaining everything that you need. Forever every time I let you cry, I will make your whole body smile. Apologies, haven't got it yet. That makes things hard to fall. I know. Hope you are telling your friends that you need more water, less stress, more sex, less of me. Looking for someone who choking me. Forever every time I let you cry. I will make your whole body smile. Please don't say no. Please just say yes. And I let you know you're better than I was ready for.
Division has a heavenly voice from the gods. I wish more people would recognize him as a top R&B artist, because they don't, and I don't understand it. He's doing more than most of the people who are out here making R&B music on a daily that are popular. I wish that man could sing at my wedding. That man's voice is just phenomenal. All right, on to business. So today we have a single by an artist named Plaza. If you don't know who Plaza is, please do your research. The man has, I believe, 2 EPs and 1 actual album that he came out with earlier last year called Nocturnes. Plaza is an artist whose name is Michael Kaminsky, supposedly, and we really don't have any real background information on this man. All that we know is he dropped an EP called One. From there on, it dropped on SoundCloud. He was dropping many songs individually before that led up to the hype. Didn't get any real publicity, didn't really have any interviews. He was signed by OVO in 2017, and he had a song called Personal come out in November of 2016 that actually led to him getting signed to OVO. He was signed to OVO for 4 years, never dropped any project under OVO whatsoever. Believe we had maybe 1 to 2 singles, but nothing more of that. Leading up to him leaving OVO, Drake never promoted him. Drake should do a better job of promoting his artists, because the only people that he really promote is Party Next Door himself and Roy Woods occasionally and Division occasionally. He promoted Baka's album more than anything when he signed Baka to OVO. Nonetheless, we have Plaza. His last project, Nocturnes, came out earlier last year. Really good project. He's coming up on a new single called Crash. He had a single come out earlier this year in January called Demons, and that was a really good song in my opinion. So him following up with these two, I feel like he's potentially ready to drop again. And it would be less than a year if he was to drop within the next 2 months of him dropping his last project. I think Plaza's voice is amazing. He's super mysterious. You can't find any real interviews on him. You watch the videos that he makes for his songs. Sometimes the face looks like it doesn't match the voice, but we get that a lot with listening to artists. Some faces just don't match the voice. You can't say, oh, I seen this person right here and his face is fucking hideous, but he has a beautiful voice. It's weird. It's a weird spectrum of how his voice versus his music versus his profile do not coincide whatsoever. If you have a chance, just check out some of Plaza's music. You may type his name in all caps on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you listen to your music to, and it'll pop up. Videos and music is very dark, very mysterious, very deep, sultry R&B vibes. Then on the other hand, he has this Weekend / Party Next Door influence, early Party Next Door influence, to where he gets real dark and druggy. That leans more towards the Weekend side, but his voice carries him through on the songs, which is more the Party Next Door side. I feel OVO shouldn't have let this guy go. This guy was making good music. If he would have got the proper promotion, I think his career would be a lot bigger than what it is now. Without further ado, we have Crash by Plaza.
From where you are, it's been 5 hours since I touched down. If it's good for you, I'm sipping tabletops 'cause I never learned. There's some bridges I had to burn. Chemistry, you and me, let's go. I can be whatever you want. You're all I want now.
So already you can see he's talking about doing drugs, he's talking about exes, he's talking about the relationship he's had with women, and you can hear that his beat for some reason reminds me of The Zone and 28 by The Weeknd mixed together. It's so bass heavy, but at the same time, it still gives room for the track to breathe, for him to insert his lyrics and give his vocals and sound like he's floating above the beat. Plaza here says he sniffed at tabletops because he never learns. He had bridges he had to burn. Exes want his return. Play me with guess their lessons learned. I think that Plaza's in the state in this song where he feels like he's living this fast life and women are looking back on what they had with him and now they want that back. And they learn their lessons dealing with other guys, dealing with other relationships, dealing with other things. And now he knows that he's already changed, so there's no need for him to really go back. The next part of his verse, he's talking about how they have chemistry. He wants to go and he'll be whatever she wants him to be, which is basically like him conceding to the woman that he wants to be with, but they already had past trauma. And now he's trying to say, like, I'll be that guy that you want me to be. I'll be whatever it is you want me to be so we can go and be together. And that's all that he wants. He wants her. He wants nothing else. And he's going to reassure this woman that she's in good hands and that he can be whatever she wants him to be. It's so interesting to listen to Plaza's voice and to listen to his music because of the type of substance he's giving. Plaza isn't one of these guys who are out here living a fast life, out here in the eye of the public, out here in the media doing random things. He's cryptic. And because he is that way, it gives more interest to hear what he has. And because he's that way, it gives more interest to hear what he has to say. He was telling the girl in the last verse how the sex would be. And at the end of the song, he talks about how it's cold in Montreal, how the highways are to a crawl, and how the M's are like waterfalls because he has a lot of money. I believe he's going to drop. I can't tell you when, but he's going to drop. And he might do it around his birthday in the late summer of July. This song is probably going to be top 3 as one of my favorite Plaza songs because of the flow and the beat. He's not giving a lot lyrically. He's saying what he needs to say. The hook is sort of kind of lengthy. I do enjoy what he does say in the short verses that he's giving. Plaza is just so mysterious that there's nothing that we can sit and say like, hey, this is where we know he's going next. Everything that he makes sounds different. And by different, I mean that his lyrics and the ambiance of his music puts you in a different zone and in a different vibe. And that's why a lot of people kind of compared him to The Weeknd with the mysteriousness and how his music is made, and also have compared his capabilities and his similarities to Party Next Door. I believe that this is going to be not long of a project, the next one he drops. I think we're probably going to get about 10 songs. I think that we're also going to see possibly Plaza reveal something new about himself, unlike he did on Nocturnes. On Nocturnes, I feel like we got more of Shadow vibes, because that was a previous EP that he dropped. But his music is all the way enjoyable. There's nothing that you can say to take away from what Plaza gives. You can't say that he doesn't do enough or his lyrical ability is low. He has an amazing voice, and this is why I think OVO should have signed him and kept him signed. Simply because he could have been inserted into certain interludes Drake could make. He could have been inserted onto background vocals for Division, background vocals for Roy Woods, because we still don't know what he's going to do. I think 40 needs to really take a look at what he lost and probably give him a more prominent role on the roster with the upcoming slate for OVO, because the way OVO is ran right now, all we're gonna get is Division music and Party Next Door music. And I read an article saying that Division isn't signed to OVO anymore. I think they're still signed, they're just not managed by OVO, because now they're managed by Love Renaissance, which Black's label is. Altogether, overall, I really think that Plaza is going to come and take whatever audience that he has as an artist and give his fans a long-awaited music drop. Simply because he wasn't able to drop an OVO, and I don't understand what the mishap was, what the confusion was, where the contract went wrong, where the conversations went wrong. I don't think Drake ever met Plaza. I think someone from the OVO camp signed him, and they just had no relationship whatsoever, and that probably soured a lot of things because it wasn't what Plaza probably thought it would be. But we don't even know who Plaza is. We don't know what the guy really looks like. In his videos, it's some guy and his voice just doesn't match his face. Now, let's say that is Plaza. This guy is the most mysterious music maker in the world, because now he's just dropping all his own music by himself. No label backing, no anything. He's not signed to anybody. He's just dropping music at a whim. Enjoyable song, not too much to take away from it, not too much to give for it. This is why I like the mysteriousness, because it leaves me wanting more. Plaza, Crash. We'll just wait and see what we get next.